Hello everyone. Today's video will be a celebration of snow, an ode to snow if you will, and it will be one of 4 videos that I will post about snow over the upcoming weeks. Celebrate my favorite weather phenomenon. Today we will go back in time and visit a tranquil moment I recently experienced on a snow-covered field at Blythewood Gardens, which is located on the campus of Bard College, my alma mater. Afterwards, we will read and analyze a snow-themed poem called Dust of Snow, which is by Robert Frost, one of my favorite poets. And then finally, I will write my own snow-themed poem about the snow-covered Blythewood Gardens. All right, without further ado, let's return to that beautiful, snowy, late afternoon or evening at Bard's Bluff. Try to get a little closer to the Hudson now. The right time of day to be here. It's almost dusk, so there's a bluish hue on everything. It's beautiful. I get as close as I can. I haven't been surrounded by this much silence. All right, we're back in my office, ready to read and analyze Dust of Snow by Robert Frost. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. What impresses me the most about this poem is that it is 1 sentence long, broken up over the course of 8 lines and 2 stanzas that seem really simple on the outside, but deceptively so. I'm also extremely impressed by the way Frost rhymes in such a natural and effortless way. It's typically extremely difficult to write a rhyming poem. A lot of rhyming poems rhyme well, but that comes at the expense of descriptive language like imagery or symbolism. However, Frost manages not only to rhyme, but also to do so while simultaneously incorporating very sophisticated imagery and symbolism. Now let's take a closer look at the first 4 lines. The imagery in these lines is actually quite morbid. First of all, there's a crow, which in literature typically symbolizes death or an ill omen. Then there's dust, which has biblical roots in the symbolism of death. In Genesis, God created man from the dust of the ground, and after Adam's sin, God decreed, "For dust you are, and to dust you shall return." The third image that evokes death is hemlock. Hemlock is a poisonous tree, and it was used in the execution of Socrates, who was sentenced to death by Athenian authorities in 399 BCE for impiety and corrupting the youth.
Impiety and corrupting youth.
He supposedly did this by simply teaching them to question authority. With these 3 images, the crow, dust, and hemlock, Frost creates a backdrop laden with death imagery. Interestingly, in the next 4 lines, Frost completely subverts these typically negative images and turns them into something very positive. He does this by writing that the snow saved the day that he had originally rued, which means bitterly regretted. This leads us to the theme of the poem, which is that nature has healing powers. Though this is a very common theme throughout literature and thus slightly cliche, its execution by Frost is not only highly creative, but also breathtaking. I connected with this poem a lot on a personal level because, well, if you know anything about me, you know how much I love snow and how much I look forward to a good-hearted blizzard. Honestly, there really aren't enough words in the English language to express just how much I love snow, especially Christmas. Despite language's limitations, I'm going to do my best to write my own snow-themed poem, specifically about the experience I recently had while upstate at Bard's Blythewood while it was covered in snow. Wish me luck. All right, I finished writing my poem. It took a while, a little longer than I expected. I feel like that always happens when I try to write a poem. But anyway, I'd love to share it with you, so here it is. The poem is called Bard's Blythewood Buried. There is a blue who only appears post-blizzard before sunless sunset, sprinkling his twittering tonic, ambrosia's rain, over rivers and remnants of red roses. But even when he divinely arrives, I may be inextricably entangled in a puppeteer's tar-soaked strings. But one Friday in February, my blue groom greeted me at Bard's Blythewood unexpectedly, holding hydrangeas whose cornflower petals curiously were woven with white baby's breath. Clouds in the sky dusk. I hope you enjoyed today's video and that it inspired you to write your own snow-themed poem. If so, please share it with me in the comments below. I'd love to read it. I'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in.